and she is directing a feature for the first time, a film Jolie also wrote, and she sat down with ABC's Christiane Amanpour to talk about it. And Christiane, this film is about something you both know well, the war in Bosnia.
Exactly, and it's so serious. It is amazing. Angelina Jolie told me that she found it refreshing, as we can imagine, although nerve-wracking to be off camera. With her celebrity, it's no wonder why. The film is a really brave, very tough and courageous look at an important subject, the Bosnian War, which was a major challenge to the United States, war I covered extensively, and I sat down with Angelina at the prestigious Council on Foreign Relations here in New York. She's been a member there since 2007. Hollywood's highest paid actress, UN Goodwill Ambassador, mother of 6 children, and partner of Brad Pitt. She is the quintessential megastar. While Angelina Jolie may be best known for her life both on and off camera,
hi Angelina.
We now get to see a rare side of her as she takes on working behind the camera. In the Land of Blood and Honey is Jolie's debut as a director, a film she wrote about the Bosnian War, an unexpected and brave choice for a first film.
I'd traveled for years and I'd seen so many people post-conflict and wanted to understand more what happened to them and how just human beings are just pushed to their limit and how they change and how they're changed and affected by war. And then I started to look into this particular conflict because I'd been there and I'd visited, and I was just so taken by it.
And you decided to tell it as a love story.
The truth is, it's a love story that would have been. It shows the love between mother and child, between man and woman, between brothers, father and son, but it's what war does to those relationships.
It's quite extraordinary because there's an English version and a Bosnian version, a version in the local language. Why did you do that?
We felt that this is a war that isn't talked about enough. It's hard to access and get people into the seats to force them to sit through this, and so we felt if we made it also in English, it would help people who are not comfortable with foreign films or subtitles, but at the same time it had to be in its authentic language because it belongs in its authentic language.
The film was shot late last year in Hungary and Bosnia with an entirely local cast, including actresses Zana Marjanovic and Vanessa Glodjo. It was a long stint of shooting, but Jolie made sure that she had Brad and their kids nearby. Do you travel them wherever you go?
Yeah, wherever we go. Brad and I had an agreement when we came together. We believe that it's so hard with family in this business, and so we take turns working. So whenever one of us works the other makes sure they're there for the kids, and so we never have to split our family up.
And you also take them on location?
Always on location. Yeah, we have if it's over 5 days, everybody's got to move in a big traveling mass.
A traveling mass that resembles a mini United Nations. Along with 3 biological kids, they've adopted 3 from Cambodia, Ethiopia, and Vietnam. How has motherhood, particularly from children from those parts of the world, affected you?
I'm being very careful with their schooling. We're homeschooling, especially when it comes to history, to make sure it's not one country's point of view of their country, because it has to be very balanced, and they have to learn about their country so they can form their own conclusions.
But what's the key to keeping it all together? How do Brad and Angelina manage to make their whirlwind life of family, careers, and love work? You sort of dovetail not just your acting, but also your humanitarian work.
I'm a strong believer that what keeps a great relationship is to have the same, your ethics are the same. The way you approach the world is the same. Not just your love of art, but your sense of what is right and wrong, and your sense of the commitment your children need from you, or what your responsibility is to the rest of the world.
Jolie says that her family comes first. Her career, acting, and now directing and writing, is secondary. What's more rewarding for you, the writing, directing, or the acting?
I don't know if it's more rewarding, but the writing is the hardest because it feels the most exposed. It feels the most private. When you're an actress, you use somebody else's words. You can always blame the director, and the director can say the editor, but the writer is the one that kind of sits alone in a room and writes what they think is important, funny, historical, topical.
So you're probably on the edge of your seat waiting for those reviews.
About that.
Yeah.
But I loved it the most. Maybe because I could do it at home with the kids running around.
So it's a really brave, tough look into a war that was really our generation's Vietnam. And we got all very emotional about it. And also those cast members are all from that part of the world.